Last but certainly not least, the honorable chief guest of today is Mr. Ajai Garg, Senior Director at Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. A thought leader of trusted business growth strategies, having expertise in driving and articulating a vision, delivering strategic innovation, commercial stewardship to building robust administrative and operational system, setting the organizational rhythm, strategic planning, business process improvements, and ensuring compliance to local and global regulations and policies. Serving in the capacity of Senior Director in Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, backed by rich and prolific career journey of 25 years in the various administrative accountabilities, imbibed strong ethos of IITs as research scholar, carved out a mission to contribute the optimal growth of economy by blending with technology and yielding innovation ecosystem. Over to you, Mr. Garg.
So let me thank Santosh, the whole GCPIT team, and all for inviting me to this very prestigious event. Why I call it a very prestigious and a responsible event in a sense is that people celebrate economics and economic growth, but people normally don't celebrate when they are giving back to the system. We always celebrate taking something from the system, but when it is there to actually give back to the system, so there is a challenge in all this, and we are never celebrating that. So GCPIT doing this very wonderful work in connecting the whole cyclic economy is a very, very responsible step in towards achieving the SDGs, which my predecessor talked about. Because it's very essential in today's economy that if we have commitments to COP27, if we have a commitment to the society as such that we give a better life to our future generations, sustainability is the key. Sustainability is the key not only for saving the environment. Sustainability is also essential that we do not consume the resources which the Mother Earth has given us to us, and leave nothing for the future generations, which will actually kill the whole industry per se. You must be aware that a lot of very, very precious and very limited resources are being used in the electronics industry. Very limited accountability were there for the manufacturing sector per se to actually conserve these rare earths and important minerals that they were extracting from the nature. Now, many of the responsible ministries and the governments, including the government of India, has given specific incremental targets of cyclic electronic waste management, which has become a huge challenge for the electronic industry to take care of. But at the same time, what Government of India also did in this respect is that they create sustainable ecosystems by bringing in low-cost electronic waste management systems, bringing in machines, giving them goals which are actually achievable in time frames and are incremental in nature. It's not an abrupt regulatory framework which has been brought out. And in that way, I think India is developing an electronic waste management system, which in my sense will go a long way in creating a sustainable ecosystem. Now, if we talk about bringing fabs to India, electronic fabs or semiconductor fabs in India, it's very essential that where do we get these materials from, these important rare earths and minerals, many of them which are not even available in India. We all are moving now from from renewable to non-renewable energy. Now, in that also, it is very important to understand that sustainable ecosystems are equally important in the non-renewable ecosystem as they are important in the fossil fuel ecosystem. Because in the non-renewable ecosystem, there are many important minerals that are being extracted and are in very limited quantities, whether it's a lithium ions, batteries you talk about, or you talk about the lot of packaging that goes in terms of the plastics in all these ecosystems, and many of them are not biodegradable themselves. So sustainability is a very, very important factor, not only in the non-renewable ecosystem. And if we keep talking about non-renewable ecosystem and forget that the future renewable ecosystem that is coming to the coming to replace the non-renewable ecosystem has equal responsibility towards sustainability. And if we actually start from the very beginning to look at the cyclic economy in that aspect, it will be very, very important, because cyclic manufacturing is the key to the future, and sustainability comes by the cyclic ecosystem. And it cannot be, there cannot be no two answers other than getting a cyclic economic ecosystem. Now, I'll also touch upon the sustainability in the sense of the social responsibility factor, a factor which talks about inclusion. When technology only impacts the few and very few people and is not actually giving benefits to the whole ecosystem, I don't think that the sustainability has actually been the technology in India. We took some very, very different route towards digital inclusion in the form of public digital platforms. And I think if we recognize those public digital platforms as a key enabler for sustainability, it will be a very, very important message that India can give to the globe. Let me talk about two very important public digital platforms. One is our digital identity ecosystem, where we have provided the digital identity to more than 1.25 billion Indians, a unique digital identity where privacy is by design, not by regulations, where it is an enabler for every citizen in India to get one, access to the KYCs and the businesses, the banking systems, the financial system. The social benefit transfers can go seamlessly and in a very transparent manner directly to the beneficiary. India actually removed a lot of middle layers in that aspect. Efficiency, the COVID was a very, very stark example when the whole system was shut down. But in India, the social benefit transfers went seamlessly to the remotest of villages and to the last person on this in our country. Whether it's related to bringing efficiency in the businesses, you talk about Geo enrolling more than 5 million users in India in very little time, all because of a very, very unique digital identity ecosystem that brings KYC or know your client ecosystem in a very, very seamless, very, very fast manner. So our digital identity called the Aadhaar, backed by a law, backed by a regulatory process, creating an ecosystem of implementation which is fast-tracked, robust, and low-cost, is a very, very good example of one layer actually enabling this, and you don't need multiple identities ecosystems to be actually working on that. The second very important example will be our unified payment interface called the UPI or the BHIM. A very unique example of bringing the whole fintech ecosystem, including the traditional banking system, the wallets, the mobiles, and the new age fintech industry all onto a single gateway integrated by a very simple API system. And that's one example where the financial sector has been converted into a sustainable ecosystem. A very, very unique example for the world to understand that India is doing something very important in this aspect. And I think this digital transformation, or this sustainable digital transformation, which India is a key message that we want to put forward in our G20 presidency this year. And I will request the support of all developing world, all the proponents of sustainable ecosystems to actually recognize this and spread this message globally, because what West did in their industry 3.0 is to give better digital experience to the first 1.5 billion citizens of the world. The rest 6 billion remain untouched with the benefits of digital. And if we think that digital will be the way forward for tomorrow, we need something which brings the whole 7.5 billion plus global population onto the very unique digital experience and the benefits that this technology provides to the all. I once again thank you for actually spearheading this award. Let me congratulate all the winners of this very prestigious award. And I don't think that this event should end on the eve of the Christmas, but it must see many more Christmas and many more New Years in future. And this should be a sustainable effort in itself, and should be awarded if it actually comes back next year during the same time. Thank you once more. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Garg.